return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. I'm from Jerusalem. Hey, we'll return again. This captivity ain't permanent, no. Sitting on a
Salama family, how y'all doing tonight? I'm Brother Atur.
And I'm Isha G.
I'm not even in the camera right. Hold on, let me get this right. My bad. I don't want nobody saying we're not showing our face.
You see all your head?
I know I got a big head. Y'all see how she doing? Starting to show off, talking about my head. So how y'all doing tonight? I pray everyone is well.
Yeah.
Pray your families are doing well. There's been a lot of craziness going on, I know. But hey, the Most High, He is in charge. I hope everyone enjoyed yesterday with Tayu Ministries, Covenant Awakening Ministries, Sister Shunda, and everybody else that was on for the Global Day of Repentance. It was an amazing time.
That was awesome, guys. Like, our nation really needed that and still needs that, because that's the only thing that the Most High is requiring from us as far as turning back to our nation. I mean, everything has been written and promised already, so we are just so thankful. And yes, I'm with everybody. I pray that we can do it again. I wasn't expecting to have to pray, but like, it was 4 o'clock in the morning here.
Yes.
And so my husband woke me up and he's like, babe,
let's pray.
I'm like, okay, I'm waking up. But yeah, it was much needed. It was much needed, and I'm thankful.
Yeah, I'm about to put you on blast. So she talking about she didn't want to pray. So she was off the when the microphone was off, she was in here crying, just screaming out to the Most High. Like, I was hoping the neighbors didn't come over, like, is everything all right? Because like we said, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning here.
It was repentance, right? So, I want to make sure that I get everything out. I want us to repent truly, and it hit hard last night for me. Well,
Yes.
This morning for me, as different things were being called out, different ones began to pray, and it really hit me hard, really thinking about our nation and just as a whole, how our people are, and just how we don't deserve what the Most High has promised us. And even though we're repenting right now, it was written that we would, but in reality, when we look at our nation, we don't deserve what He's giving us. And so it's amazing because we're living out the Bible. Literally, we're living out prophecy of what was prophesied. We didn't know how it was going to happen, but we're living out the prophecy. And so it's amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. I hope we will do it again.
Yes, most definitely. So let's get on with it. So as you guys know, we have started doing free consultations because it's on our heart heavy, especially going into this Gregorian calendar year of 2023, that our people need to unify. And that means in every aspect. So that means whatever we can do to help you guys have whatever information you need to be able to leave Babylon, wherever it is, if you're in the UK, over in the islands, over in, that place that we left. I don't even like mentioning his name, but that's our goal, is to really put this information out there to really help you guys. And so in these consultations we've been doing, and just people randomly sending us emails, messages on Instagram, they've been asking us like, hey, Brother Tor, Sister Isha, listen, I'm going to be retiring soon, or either I'm retired now. Where's a good place for me to go? Where it's not a lot of hassle, because we're going to be honest, some of these places here in the continent can be a hassle to repatriate to.
Yes, and the reason why is because our home has to be built. Our home has to be rebuilt. And so as of right now, a lot of the countries still don't have a lot of the things that we need. A lot of things that just makes living a little bit more pleasurable, and so for people that are retired, I'm gonna be honest, if I was retiring, I want to go somewhere where I'm comfortable as well, so.
You put in your 20, 30 years somewhere.
Right, some people 40 years, like, man, I'm tired. I'm really.
They want to invest in a young person's business, but they like, I don't do that. I done did my 30, 40 years.
They're not trying to actively be involved, so we just wanted to give you guys just our recommendations for places that would be an easy transition for if you're retiring, but it's for people who just, may want to go because you're just financially able to, so.
Now, let me say this for all my wise people. I don't like, I don't use other words. I say my wise people. Don't feel like, oh, they ain't talking to me tonight because I'm nowhere near retiring. Look, I understand how it is. My mama is 70. What? How old is my mama now?
She's getting to be 75.
Yeah, my mom's getting ready to be 75. She's retired. She has retired twice. So I understand that some of y'all would like to retire, but you have not. And so you might have a few more years to go, but this is still great information for the future.
Right.
All right.
Right. So we're gonna jump right into it. And we're gonna have some videos coming out for people because we did have someone reach out to us and was like, is there a place if you're not retiring, but it's easy where you don't have to leave the country every 90 days? We're gonna be coming out with a video for that. Just doing some research, y'all. We've been doing research because we want our people here.
Yes. You ever know, you get that feeling like, I just want my tribe. We know we got our Bantus over here, but we want Judah. Judah understands the things that we've been through. And so sometimes we just need y'all.
Yeah, so it's nice to get on here and chit chat.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about what the first country is?
Sure. So let's jump right into it. So the first country that we're going to talk about tonight for my retirees or those looking to retire soon, South Africa. And of course, majority of everybody knows South Africa is one of the most developed places here on the continent of Africa.
Right. So, and I know most of you guys are familiar with South Africa, but the reason we recommended it is for the exact reason my husband just said. It's one of the most developed countries here on the continent. And some things that it has to offer for someone that's retired, it's gonna feel kind of familiar to you. Because the roads, if you have ever watched any videos on certain parts of South Africa, I think they have like maybe 6 or 7 different areas that are really, really nice. Their roads remind you of the roads in the U.S. And I'm not,
Atlanta.
It does kind of remind you of Atlanta. Not to say that you're supposed to be craving everything that's, in the U.S. or Europe or whatever, but some people do better if they have some sort of familiarity, right? So the roads are going to remind you of certain places, certain amenities that they have are going to remind you of some of those things that you're accustomed to. So it could be a chill spot for somebody that's retired, just like, look, I just want to live out the rest of my days. I want to go and hang out. I want to enjoy sightseeing or whatever. South Africa is going to give you that.
Right.
The other reason is for my seasoned people, my wise people.
Yes.
I'm not trying to call anybody, we all sometimes may need a hospital, but they have good hospitals. Most of us know that South Africa has some of the best hospitals here on the continent. And I know as we get older, sometimes things happen. We may need to go to the emergency room. And some of our people are older and they're moving here on their own. So South Africa might be somewhere you want to consider because they actually have the best hospitals here on the continent. So for residency for South Africa, you have to be bringing in right around $2,200 USD per month. And once you get your residency, it's good for 4 years in South Africa, and you can renew it. Okay. And one thing that I really, really like about South Africa's website, it walks you through everything, like literally everything. Not to mention, they have a program available. You pay, I believe it's a little over $300.
Yeah, $300.
And once you get there, they literally do everything for you. Literally do everything for you to make sure that you have all the correct paperwork. Also, if you do it on your own, if you're missing paperwork, you can't turn in paperwork. But if you go through their agency, they will give you time to get your paperwork in. So that's one of the benefits with going through the agency that they have listed there on their website.
And with that, having that agency, you know, you've heard a lot of people from Tanzania and other countries talk about dealing with immigration. Sometimes when you don't have that advocate for you, it can be cumbersome. But this agency, they handle everything for you. They take all your paperwork to all the places that they have to be. They make all the copies that you need. They let you know what you don't have, what you need. They help you get what you need. And then they have people at immigration that they work specifically with, that they get to bypass the lines, as we'll say. So that's a good thing.
The next one, this is for the people who I said, if you're not retiring, but you have the money like this. Let me pull up my
handy dandy
currency converter. Can you go to the South African one? They have financially independent residency. Oh, okay. Great. Can you put in 12? So, financially independent residency. Now, like I said, you have to have money for this one because you're required. And I know some of our people have it like this, you know, and if you do, you might want to check this out. You have to have a net worth of 12 million African rand.
Yeah, South African rand.
South African rand. That is how much in USD?
$705,504.
Right. So if you have that much money, you can actually just go and just not retire, but you can just live there, and it is permanent residency. Yeah. It is not something where you have to leave and come back. You become a permanent residency, and out of that 705,000 USD. It can
be assets, right? Or is it cash?
No, you have to have this where it can be assets as long as you can pull it out, because you do have to pay their director general 120,000 rand. And so basically you're buying your residency pretty much. And so that is something that South Africa does offer if you got money like that.
And look, let's be honest. Some of our people got money like that.
Some of our people do, you know. So the cost of living in South Africa is about 1,200 USD per person. Like if you're single, about 1,200 USD. That's more than enough for you to live on in South Africa. If you're still dealing with a few teenagers, it's for a family of 4, about 2,800 USD for the cost of living. And like I say, they have a lot of good amenities. If you have some children, they have lots of things for children to do, things that they're accustomed to doing. A lot of the countries like where we are, there's nothing really here for children. So heck, it ain't nothing really here for grown folks. Unless you're still into, I think I've said this before, like that club scene or whatever, going to bars or whatever, that's what's here. And they have a lot of restaurants in Dar es Salaam, but there's nothing really here. And you'll find that throughout the continent in most places. And that's why we need our people here, the ones who have mindsets to build, because we need to build our land, right? So what's the next place we're talking about?
Hold on. Warrior Dream asked. Warrior's Dream said, is that $1,200 per month cost of living?
Yes, that is 1,200 USD per month. You can live in South Africa, which I was very surprised because I was researching. I didn't list this, but I was researching for myself about how much apartments and everything were, and I was quite surprised that they weren't that expensive. If you're gonna live in the city center, any country you go to, city center is going to be more expensive. But when you go on the outskirts of the city center, the cost drops down a lot. So yeah, you can live off of 1,200 USD equivalent in South Africa for one person.
Yes.
What's on your next one? Yeah, so some things you can do. They have museums in South Africa. They have aquariums in South Africa. They have nice views. You guys know they have tabletop mountains. Now you're gonna find most of these things in like Johannesburg,
Durban,
Cape Coast. I forget what the capital's name is, but you're gonna
Pretoria, something.
I don't know what the name is, but you're gonna find these things in those areas. So if you have children and you're wanting to retire or you're financially independent, and also I wanted to add about financially independent. Only one of you needs to be bringing that in. That's not like, oh, you have to have this amount, 700, and your spouse. That covers your household.
Right.
So you can bring all of your children, your spouses on if you are going to get a financially independent residency.
Long as your children are under 24 years old.
Yeah. Dating rings. They have pretty much everything that you would be accustomed to in the U.S. They have in a few of the places in South Africa.
So, look like down there. One of the grocery stores there in South Africa looks like your Publix, your Kroger's, your Albertsons, your Food Lion. For my country people like me who from the South, the Piggly Wiggly, the Piggly Wiggly. Trying to drive you to the Piggly Wiggly.
Y'all know they got Pick and Pay out here in a lot of the country.
Yes.
How many of y'all remember Pick and Pay? Yes. Now I know a lot of people don't talk about Kenya as far as being one of those places to go. I'm not sure why, and I haven't really heard a lot of diaspora going to Kenya. So I don't know why. If there's a diaspora that's been there, or a few of you, you let us know why. I plan on visiting soon, but I haven't heard many diaspora going to Kenya. However, Nairobi, Kenya would be a place where a person that wants to retire, you would probably feel a little comfortable if you don't mind a busy city. That is. And the reason I say that is because they have something that a lot of people don't know they have. They have something called an ordinary resident. You can become an ordinary resident in Kenya. Now, this is not only for people who are retiring, but this is for anybody who's over the age of 35, 35 and up. You can get ordinary residency, and you have to prove that you make 2,000 USD per month. And if you get ordinary residency, unfortunately, you cannot start a business. You're literally there to spend your money in the country. That is what ordinary residency is. So that's why we say if you have retirement, it's a place you're not trying to build businesses and everything anyway. So it will be a place where you can just spend your money.
Or if you work online
in the country.
Or work for a person that works online as
well. Well, yes. If you work, if you work online, yes, you know, ordinary residency, because you can't obtain any type of work in the country. You can't have an NGO or anything like that. It's literally you're just there to live and to spend your money in the country, because a lot of these countries, a few of the countries here in Africa have started to realize, so our economy can go up also if we just have people live here and spend their money here. So that's for people who are retired, or if you don't want to leave a country every 90 days or however many days. Kenya is one of those countries you can get ordinary residency for you and your family. You just have to prove that you're bringing in 2,000 USD. Now that's going to be per person. I don't know what the price is per family. I did email their embassy to find out, but they haven't gotten back with me yet.
So we will update that in our community tab once they do email us back. So you'll get notified from our community tab when we post that information.
Yes, because a lot of times they'll give you, it's kind of discounted if you're coming with your spouse or your spouse and your children. It's normally not 2,000 per person, but it'll be like 2,000 for one person, 3,000 for a couple, and so much for every dependent that you have, you know. So as soon as they respond to me, we'll update you guys on the exact amount for that. Now, the cost of living in Kenya is pretty cheap. You know, you can live for one person in Kenya for about 700 USD per month.
What?
Yes.
Say it again.
You can live in Kenya for about 700 USD. Now, once again, this is not going to be living in the heart of the city. This is going to be on the outskirts of the city, but it is in close proximity to driving or having transportation to take you to a lot of the amenities that they offer in the city. So it's pretty reasonable in Kenya, and that's for one person. Kenya also is known for having a great medical system. They have good hospitals in Kenya. And right, what my husband is showing us, they have, what is this picture of? Go to the next one.
So I was having a little malfunction here. I apologize. This is what the grocery stores in Kenya look like.
This is Nairobi now.
Yes.
I'm showing you guys the capital, Nairobi.
Right.
Because that's where you're going to find most of the amenities and everything.
Yes.
So it looks like your normal grocery store. It seems like they have a deli or something in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, it's things that you're going to be kind of accustomed to.
Got some little bootleg movies right there.
They have pretty good roads in Kenya. So yeah, Kenya is one of those places. It's pretty easy. I was happy to find out that it was 35 and up where you could actually go to and become an ordinary resident in Kenya, because, you know, I know it's a lot of young people out there, but most of the people we speak to are around that age range and older. So yeah, what else they got in Kenya?
So these are things that you can do while you're there living in Kenya. They got cultural events that you can go to. There's numerous amount of tribes all throughout Kenya. You can go and visit the different tribal sites, their villages, and participate in the different festivals that they have. They have an area that's called Central Park. Just like those of you who are from New York or has ever been to New York, you know Central Park. They have a huge park there in Nairobi that you can just walk through. And they got different little monuments and other things that you can see.
Yeah, now there are multiple parks in Nairobi. It's not just this park. They have a few different parks if you like nature. You know, that's something that I love nature. I love beautiful parks. I prefer to go to a nice outdoor park than being inside, because I'm just always amazed at Abba's creation. So
Yes.
So they have those parks. They have museums.
Yes. So for all my people who want to learn some stuff about Africa, you can go here to the Nairobi National Museum and check out all the different art pieces they have. They have safaris there because, as you know, Rwanda, Uganda, I think it's Burundi. Is it Burundi also? All border Serengeti.
No, they all have their own. I don't think it's Burundi.
Yeah,
Rwanda, Uganda,
Tanzania, and Kenya, they all share the Serengeti. So you can go on safaris. And as you see here, this is a different type of safari where you can actually ride in a hot air balloon in Kenya and just go across. Me personally, that'd be a little scary for me because if it comes down, you got lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, I'm not trying to do that. I'm still a black man.
Right, we're not Maasai.
Yeah.
You know, so we're not trying to be out here killing no lions. So, but
Yes.
yeah, they have a lot of things that you can do in Kenya. You know, of course, they have nice restaurants you're gonna find in Kenya. So yeah, if you want to retire, check out Kenya. Look into Kenya. You know.
Now we've had people asking us about Zambia.
We have had a lot of people asking about Zambia. And I'm glad that you guys asked because that was not a country that was on my radar to research at all. And so looking into Zambia, I was quite surprised about Zambia, you know. So I'll just say this before we even talk about the hospitals and everything. Zambia, we actually know people who are there, and they already have this that I'm about to tell you about.
Yes.
They offer to people lifetime residency.
Yes.
Lifetime. Okay. It's not for 4 years. It's not for 10 years. It's not for 2. It is lifetime residency.
So wait, you mean they don't have to leave every 90 days? They don't got to leave every 30 days? They get there forever.
If you want to stay forever, you can.
So when the Most High come and say, all right, come to me, they already gonna be there.
Well, we don't know where he's gonna be at.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes, you have lifetime residency in Zambia. Okay, now the price, you have to prove that you bring in 2,000 USD per month.
Yes.
Once again, you have to prove it. And this can be proven by your retirement, your pension, or if you have some sort of irrevocable annuity, you have to just prove that you can bring in 2,000 USD per month in Zambia, and you get lifetime residency.
Lifetime.
So I thought that was amazing. I did not see an age limit on there. So I guess if you're a young person and somehow you came into some money, you know, you can go to Zambia as well, as long as you can prove that you bring in the $2,000 per month.
Right.
Okay. So another thing that they have, which he showed, I had no idea Zambia had hospitals like this. You know, because I don't hear much about Zambia, not until people started asking us about it. You hear Diaspora talking about mostly the West Coast, and then we know South Africa, Tanzania. But you don't really hear about Zambia.
Auntie has a question. You know, I have to stop everything when Auntie has a question. Auntie Ruhama has a question, so I got to stop everything.
No, there are no jab requirements. Now, they do the COVID testing, you know, just like most of the countries on arrival. But no, there are no jabs required in any of these countries. And for those of you who did not know, Ghana actually lifted that requirement.
Yes, yes. And we're going to be talking about that on another show. There's a lot of things going on in Ghana right now.
Yes.
Good things.
So what else? What's the next picture? Yeah, they have really nice hospitals. For those people who think that we just have in Africa hole-in-the-wall hospitals, Zambia has nice hospitals.
Yes, Auntie Carol. Yes, that is. In
yes,
Lusaka.
It is. And Lusaka also, actually, I saw several nice hospitals there.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised.
I was impressed. I'm going to be honest. I was impressed.
I wasn't expecting it from Ghana. I mean, not Ghana, but Zambia.
Check this out, y'all. Look at this. Did you think, like, you know, because y'all know the lies they've told us about the continent. Look at the surgical room. Look at the beds. You know?
Yeah. So
we weren't expecting that.
I wasn't. I'm just being honest. I wasn't.
They even got a rehab center at this hospital.
Yes.
All right. Now, if you look closely at this sign for this hospital, I just want to read some of these. I got to get a little close. I'm a little wiser. They do full heart checkups. They do same-day surgery here. They do, I think that says resting ECGs. They do advanced cardiography. Some of that stuff got too small for me. I'm gonna be honest.
They actually do heart surgeries also at this hospital,
yes.
And they deal with both children and adults.
Yes.
So it's a great hospital. It's a heart hospital, but they also have several other hospitals, like I said, that are equally impressive. And so kudos to you, Zambia,
yes.
Because I had no idea.
Some other things that they got going on in Zambia, you want to go out to eat. Look, a lot of times they show you the little markets and everything. You see the people grabbing food on the side of the road in a lot of these African countries. They got some really nice restaurants. Tanzania has some really nice restaurants also, but I don't think that people showcase them enough.
But it's mostly in Dar es Salaam.
Yeah. Well, here's 2 different restaurants in Lusaka, Zambia. Y'all see the decor? These are nice restaurants.
And there are multiple ones that are nice there. We were looking at the pictures.
Yeah. They got a nice museum there also. A lot of Zambian African cultural history.
Mm-hmm.
On Sundays, for my wiser people, they have a crafts market every Sunday that you can go to. You can support the local businesses, owners, support the local tribes that hand make things, and they bring them to this market every Sunday.
And this is only one of the markets.
Yes.
They have several markets there as well where you can go. And as you can see, this is in front of a plaza. So they have regular plazas. In a lot of the African countries, we have things we call dukanis.
Yes.
But they have plazas there, not dukanis. Well, they might have dukanis outside, but they have regular nice plazas here.
Yes, Auntie Ruhama, there's parks that you can go ride your bicycle at. Eat you some ice cream while you're riding the bicycle and just have you a good time.
Yes, ice cream. That's right down my alley.
You want some ice cream?
Yes.
All right, the next country that we're going to go to. Oh, wait, sorry, there was one more thing. This is the mall.
And they have multiple malls.
Several malls that look like this.
So, it's just like, wow. Okay. So that's why it really pays to start.
Pick and pay.
Yeah, they're gonna pick and pay y'all. For those of y'all who are older, I remember pick and pay. I was probably like 5 years old.
And for all my KFC fans, you go ahead. You see that sign? You can go ahead and get you some of that greasy behind chicken. That clone chicken.
So what else? Is there anything else?
This right here is another museum. Yeah, it's another cultural museum which shows when you go inside, they have different little setups showing you how the villages were during the colonial times, how the people in Zambia lived prior to the modernization of the country.
And one thing I like about this museum is it's indoors, because I have been to museums like this, and most of the time they're outside, and it can be miserable. So for people, like I say, that's retiring, that want to chill, that likes the AC, their museum is indoors where you can still enjoy learning, educating yourself about the history without having to sweat like that.
Sister Shauna, just go ahead and share the video to him after we done.
Yeah. So now the cost of living.
Yes.
Do you have any more videos on Zambia?
No, that's
okay. So the cost of living in Zambia. Zambia is actually, it looks nice, but it's one of the more expensive countries in the continent to live. Even though it's still reasonable if you're bringing in USD. For one person, it's about $12.50 USD per month for the cost of living there. So it's still reasonable, if you're retired, because most people in the US, they get their retirement and Social Security You know, so 1250 USD, and you can be living in Zambia. You know, so it's one of my recommendations.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of people have asked about it. The only thing I say, when you're looking on their website, sometimes it can be a challenge. I think they just redid their website because originally when I was searching, I couldn't even pull up the site, but now they have it up. In the description box, we're going to have all the links where you guys can go to each country's embassy.
Yes.
And the websites where we looked and we got a lot of this information, and also a bit more information on the requirements when you're applying to get residency. We have those things listed in the description box also.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure I put that on there because Zambia was kind of difficult for me to get a lot of information on first, but I did come across this.
Jules said, wait, what? It's $1,200.
Yes, but and that's what I'm saying. It's one of the most expensive ones on the continent. One of the most, but it's only 1,200 USD. So that's how reasonable it is to live on the continent. You know, yeah. So that's Zambia. I plan on checking that place out. You know, now that I know that they have a lot of things there, yes. I want to check it out.
And I just want to say real quick before we go to this next country, I want to thank y'all. You know, all glory to the Most High first and foremost for, you know, just the opportunity to speak with all of you and us doing this research on these countries. You know, when we first came here to Tanzania, I was like, yep, we're going to be in Tanzania. We ain't going nowhere else. You know, I mean, as of right now, Tanzania is home base, but there's like doing the research we've been doing, there's so many places we want to go and visit.
I want to see my land.
Yes.
I want to see my land.
Look, y'all know we're in agreement with our brothers over at Tayu Ministries. Sub-Saharan Africa is our land. That's a whole lot of countries, y'all. That's a whole lot of land that needs to be explored. We need to see. You know, look, if it belongs to my Abba, and he said that it belongs to me because he gave it to us, I want to see it all.
Yes. Like Africa literally is a world within itself. Like I know a lot of times, especially right now, we still see a lot of the leaders, they want to take money. They're all asking for money from European nations, the Chinese, different things like that. They want to do business with all these outside countries. But literally Africa... Well, I can say it's not for the faint of heart coming to some of the countries that's not as developed.
Hallelujah.
Yes. So they want to take countries from a lot of these outside countries, right? But Africa, and they want to do business with a lot of the outside nations, but Africa is a world within itself. It's literally a world within itself. I mean, soon, I'm not going to even go there. But all we need is the Most High and each other.
That's it. Unity, unity, unity.
Yes.
And that hammer gonna get dropped. So this next and last country that we're going to show, this is an island that we're going to show for all of our tropical people, you know, who are like, you know what, when I retire, I want to retire on an island. So this is an island, but it is a country and it is a part of Africa. It's in the Indian Ocean. So let us tell you about the country of Mauritius.
Which I didn't even know what Mauritius was until a friend of mine told me, have you ever looked into Mauritius? And I was like, well, what's Mauritius? But yeah, right off the coast of East Africa, you have a little island called Mauritius. Now it's called a little island, but it is much bigger than the Virgin Islands.
Yes.
You know, so you won't feel bored on this island.
We're not saying anything to our sister Ashunda at large, you know, about being stuck on an island that's about 13 miles long, and that's all you got.
It's longer than 13
No, she
miles.
said it was like Ashunda. How long is the Virgin Islands? Did you or did you not say it was 13 miles?
Oh, man.
No, but Mauritius is a beautiful country.
So one of the things, just like South Africa, you're gonna feel a lot of things that are kind of familiar to you in Mauritius because it is very modern.
Yes.
Okay, it's very modern there. So you're gonna have the roads that look like you're traveling down the I-4 or 95, or I only know the east side of the U.S. So I-10,
I-20, you know.
So it's gonna look like that. They have really good roads. Like I said, it's very modern. So some people they want a lot of people they
Wait, I apologize, Sister Shonda. It's 33 miles.
33 miles.
Look, you know when you get to be my age, you get your numbers mixed up sometimes.
So it's much bigger than the Virgin Islands. But a lot of people want something that they're familiar with. They don't want to be in a place where it has to be built. They want a place that's already built where they can retire. So Mauritius is one of those islands that's going to be very familiar to you. They have a retirement visa. You have to be 50 plus to get this retirement visa. And you have to be able to prove that you bring in 1,500 USD per month. That's 1,500 USD per month. And that visa is good for 3 years in Mauritius, and you can renew it over and over again. And once you reach 10 years, you can renew it for an automatic 20 years.
Which is renewable after the 20 years.
For another 20 years, so that's 50 years right there.
Yep.
So if you have a U.S. passport or you are from a country that does not require a visa, you can fly to Mauritius and you can actually apply for the retirement visa once you get in the country. If you have a passport from one of the countries that is not visa free, of course, you have to apply for your visa first, and then you can apply for your retirement visa in the country.
But America is visa free.
Yeah. So one thing that I really liked about Mauritius for people that are retired, they have free healthcare. So if you are a resident, they offer free healthcare to all of their residents in Mauritius. So this is one of their hospitals. It reminds me of a hospital from my hometown, So they have good medical care, very modern.
CAT scans, they got it all.
It's a very modern country. So what else do they have as far as
things to do? Look at this, y'all. They have a botanical garden. These are huge water lily pads that they have in this little pond there. And they've got a bunch of flowers, trees with those weird names that I can't pronounce. You got to be a tree lover to name them. Carnivorous, perfiferous, perturcia. You got to be like the Reverend Jesse Jackson to say them big words.
No, we're not gonna be like you.
Also, look at these two waterfalls here. Now, this is only two waterfalls because they've got multiple waterfalls all over this country that you can go. You can swim in the water in some of these. And let's see what else they got going on there. This is an open air market that they have there. This is the little tourist areas where you can go and do your shopping. They have regular grocery stores too, but I wanted to show you what their regular little markets look like also when you go down to the tourist areas of Mauritius.
And so I just wanted to go over the cost of living for Mauritius. It is about 13 USD for a single person for Mauritius to live there.
Say it again.
13 USD. That's 1,300 USD
to live there.
On an island.
And
I just want to stress once again, if you are living in the city center is always going to be a bit more expensive, but you can find really nice homes on the outskirts of the city, and most of the time you're going to find the nicest homes.
Yes.
On the outskirts of the city. So that's Mauritius. And so it's only 1,500 USD you have to prove, and 1,300 you can live off of.
What Auntie said. I don't know, but we'll find out for you.
Right. We'll email them for you.
You know, look, I'm trying to find if they got AARP for my mama.
So, you know, you don't have to come over here. I know we have shown videos of Dar es Salaam and different places here in Tanzania, and I know some of you guys have researched countries, and it's like, man, I don't want to go to a place where I have to leave every 90 days, or, you know, they don't have amenities for me. Or if you're retired, but you still have children, they don't have anything for my children to do. There are options for you here on the continent. Not to mention, we just did these 4 countries. There are several countries we have not even researched yet.
Right.
You know,
so we'll be talking about those later on this year, but that's where we're at right now.
And I just want to put this out there. We're only researching sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
So
don't ask us about Egypt.
We're not researching
Morocco, none
North
of that.
Africa. So
not to be mean, but
we're doing sub-Saharan Africa. So you have options here. And like I say, even if you're not retirement age, if you're 35 and up, you have options. If you just can prove that you have a certain amount of money, you have options. You don't have to go somewhere where you're going to feel uncomfortable. And you don't have to go somewhere where it's like,
Ashonda, I need you to get Auntie, go and take her keyboard. Go take her keyboard.
You don't have to go somewhere where it's like, well, they don't hire, you know, U.S. citizens. They don't hire us there. You have your options. And we're going to be researching more countries.
Yes.
You know, because coming to Tanzania, we love Tanzania, but it can be a challenge to maneuver in some countries that are not as developed. And so it's like, for some of my people, I don't want it to be a stumbling block to you coming to Africa, because you feel that all the countries are underdeveloped, because they really are not. The interview we did with RJ from Senegal, I had no idea Senegal was built up like that.
Yeah.
And
we saw we're doing some research on Cameroon as well. We were shocked at some of the stuff we learned about Cameroon. Cameroon is built. Don't let these people fool y'all. They're not letting this information get out there. These African countries are built in certain places. There's some that are not, but they're on their way there. You know, there's some things coming for the underdeveloped countries, but they're coming.
Oh my goodness, Auntie Ruhama.
Look, that was outside our office that when we were back down in Dar es Salaam. Yes. There was monkeys in the area over there. They actually became our friends. They would come over and play every day. But here in Dar es Salaam, majority of the buildings had bars on the windows.
So Pamela here, she just said that she's in the car now, and they're really building up. Yes, we have seen so much building going on there in the car, and they're starting to come along here, building in Tanzania, but it's definitely not at the pace that they're building in Dakar. And I believe one of the main reasons is because they're very, very, very open to people coming and starting businesses there in Dakar. Here, like I say, you can do it, but sometimes it can be challenging to maneuver in Tanzania.
Yeah, because I think on the west coast of the continent, you know, Ghana really laid out the blueprint for those countries on that side of the continent to see what happens when you open up the door to the diaspora and just give them the opportunity. You know, and I'm gonna give a shout out to RJ and everything that he's doing over in Senegal. I mean, the city that he is building. Listen, the Most High is really opening doors for our people here on this continent.
Yes, and I'm trying to get on that level.
Yes.
Building cities.
Yes,
that is my goal.
Yes.
But what, it just takes unity. And the countries here, unfortunately, on the east side, like you say, they're a little slower at getting the ball rolling with this, but they're all going to see it. It's just a matter of time. And they're all going to be opening their doors for the diaspora to come on back and to make it easier for us to maneuver and open businesses and everything. Because it's not just here, it's several of the African countries where it's not easy. Part of the reason it's not easy is a lot of them are trying to keep a lot of the foreigners from taking all the land. That's one of the reasons why Zimbabwe, you don't hear a lot of diaspora going there, because they require 250,000 USD that you have to prove before you can actually start businesses there. But they did that because a lot of the foreigners are buying up thousands of acres of land.
Right. And, like we said, the East is coming along. Like you said, you see, we just put on there about Senegal having oil. Here in Tanzania, they're working with Uganda. They're going to be transporting oil from Uganda to Tanzania through the pipeline to the port. And so it's going to be bringing in a lot of money here into Tanzania. So there are going to be a lot of changes going on in Tanzania as well. They're not doing it yet, but the pipeline's still being built. But it's going to change a lot of things. That oil does change things here on the continent.
Right.
We love you too, Auntie Ruhama. We know.
Yeah. We do. So that's all the countries we have for, it's night here. I don't know what time it is there, but that's all the countries we have for today, I would say. But like we always say, y'all pray. Do your own research and make sure if you're researching any of these countries, check out those links that we put down there, because it's a lot of information, more than I would want to put on slides.
Yes.
But it's a lot of information that's there that could really help you guys with transitioning to the continent, because we want y'all here. We want y'all here. And guess what? Abba wants y'all here. And yes, he's going to bring all his people out. But some people I know he's calling out ahead of time. And if he's calling you out ahead of time, even if you are retired, he may be calling you out because he needs you to encourage somebody who is going to build. He may need you to mentor somebody who's going to have this new project or this new invention. You never know. But if he's calling you out now, it's the reason why. I would say that. And if you just want to leave, well, pray. And he said he's going to gather his people from all over.
Yeah, wherever they are.
Wherever they are. So I know a lot of people say don't leave, but if he didn't tell you to stay,
you move
and you
from
want
one state,
to leave.
You move from one state to another if you want to. Why you can't move from one country to another if you want?
So as long as he gives you that go ahead then, and you just want to go, then by all means, check out a country that works for you. And as long as he gives you the clear path, then, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think that people have to stay in the United States just because they're waiting for the Exodus. Exodus is coming real soon, coming to a house near you, But if you want to go ahead and leave and Abba Yahuwah has not told you, no, stay put, then pray and leave.
Yes. So, family, thank y'all.
Wait, no, we forgot.
What?
Drawbacks.
Yes.
I wanted to talk about the drawbacks really quickly.
Yes.
Drawbacks of moving to some of these countries.
Yeah, we don't want y'all to feel like we only gave you the good. So people be like, they didn't tell us that.
Somebody said Johannesburg look better than Buckhead. Yes, it does. Yes. Yes. I don't know if any of y'all have been to Atlanta, but yes, Johannesburg looks, oh my goodness, it blows Buckhead out the water.
And Buckhead is nice.
So drawbacks. I know for me, it's not really a drawback, but it's just something that you have to deal with when you're coming to the continent. Unfortunately, a lot of these governments are, you know, they're buddy with the Western nations. And a lot of the governments have not seen the side of the Western nations that we have had the luxury of seeing.
Luxury.
The luxury of seeing. No, it's not luxury, but you know, but they will see it.
Yeah. And, you know, like my wife said, they haven't experienced it because the problem is for us as diaspora, we have seen the dirty side of the government we came from. And we know how they do us because of our skin color, because of who we are and whose we are. But they realized they could not come with that type of force all over the continent of Africa. It wouldn't have been a good thing for them.
Right.
Because there was too many of them, you know. So they came as friends. And that's one of the things that we have learned that a lot of our people here on the continent deal with. They see these Gentile nations as their friend. They don't understand that they will bite your hand, you know. And so that's one of the things we had to learn when we first got here was don't get angry at them for the way they do things. It's for any of us. It's just like when you have a friend and they do you wrong, you're kind of like in shock. Like you are my friend. So they haven't had a chance to have that experience yet. Yes, we saw the malls. Yes. Look, some of those places I was like, man, is this not America? Look, I'm not going to lie. America has a lot of nice stuff, you know.
And so I'm going to get on this right here in a minute. But one of the other drawbacks of moving to some of these countries would be the dominant religions there. And the reason I say it's a drawback because here in Tanzania, even though it's predominantly Christian, there right under Christianity is Muslims, right? And we have a lot of Indians here that's into Hinduism and all kind of things there. So when you're around people that are worshiping other deities and you have the Ruach of Yahuwah, right? Those deities start showing themselves.
Yes.
And when you move into a neighborhood or whatever, it's like automatically they start showing themselves because they're like, who are you that moved here? You know, why are you here? You know, so sometimes you have to go into spiritual warfare when you first move into an area that has a lot of people that are worshiping other gods. So that's something that we had to deal with moving into an area that we're in right now because it's a lot of people who are into Hinduism and Buddhism and stuff here. They do have a lot of Muslim people here, but for the most part, the Muslim people here are our people who are literally just
lost.
They're misinformed. They just don't understand. And a lot of them, they're like, the hearts of the people are so...
They have the hearts we should have.
Right.
The things that we were repenting about yesterday, they're living the way we were supposed to be living as far as the way they treat their brother, the way they treat their sister, you know.
Right. So that's, you know, but it's all going to change soon.
Yes.
I know some people was like, Africa's not really moving. Oh, it's just written that we was going to wake up first, but Africa's next.
Yeah. Let's get on this real quick.
So that's the next thing.
Let me say this.
Wait. When we come here, because of everything we went through in the U.S., I'm not going to lie. The Most High has to do something in your heart because a lot of us, we hate these people. Let's just be honest. We hate them, you know, for the things that they've done. Or some of us, we borderline hate them, have a high disgust for them. And so the Most High has to heal us of that because I'm not going to even lie. There was a time where it was like, I don't want them in my presence. I don't want to see you. Do not be in my view at all. But the Most High is good because it's okay. Now we seeing them and it's like, you know, I pray that you repent, you get it right, because you don't understand what's coming for you. But a lot of us, we have to go through a healing process. You really do, of all the things that has happened in the U.S. And we're still going through some things. I just realized the other day, when did the chief come to our house?
That was the day.
So the chief of the village we live in came to our house today, right? And so I didn't know he was the chief. And so I go and open my gate. And so this guy, he comes, he's riding his bicycle. And so he's at the gate with his bicycle and he's asking for my husband. And so he says, is the Baba here? And I'm like, no, first he says, are you alone? And I'm like, no, I'm not alone. And so he's like, is the Baba here? And I'm like, yeah, he's here. And so he got up like he was about to step into the gate. And I was like, hold on. And I had him wait at the gate. I didn't know who he was. And my husband had been speaking with him previously. So I realized that that's something that I still deal with. You don't know what somebody's going to do to you. And as a woman over here, they don't bother anybody, but it's just something that is still there that I still deal with. And I didn't even realize it until today because I was very on guard. But here, and I didn't understand it before, anybody that comes to your house and everything, they're Karibu. And I'm like, dang, y'all let all kind of strangers into y'all house. But Karibu means welcome. Right. So, but for me, I was very on guard, and so it's a lot of things that we have dealt with in the U.S. and it has literally made us paranoid. When we come over here to these other countries, we are paranoid. We looking all around us, the people just trying to be nice. And we're like, man, I don't know if they're trying to do something to me. Why you close to me? People sit down and just start talking to you and you just like, are you trying to figure out if you can take something from me? Why are you sitting here like this? Right. So I say that because when we go to countries that have, like South Africa, that has a lot of those people there, sometimes it can make us very uncomfortable. And sometimes it may not be the best place for somebody who has dealt with a lot of drama or trauma dealing with those people.
Yeah, and so y'all see it right there on the screen. Those men jumped on those black boys down there in South Africa. It really pissed me off seeing that, to be here on the continent and see the foolishness that these people want to say that is for them only, knowing that my grandmother, my mother, and my aunts and uncles, they lived during that time of the only whites could drink at the water fountain. Only whites could go and sit at the inside the market and eat their food. And so to be here on the continent and hear people trying to do that, it really pissed me off. But I want to give a big shout out to the police down there in South Africa, because quick, fast, in a hurry, they arrested them boys. And the one guy is being charged with attempted murder for the young man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Exactly. And so I was happy to hear that they're not playing that. And the president of South Africa, he came on and he talked about how that will not be tolerated. Now I'm not going to lie to you over here, because those people, I don't want YouTube to ban us, but those people, they have had their way over here where they talked to the people here any kind of way. They talked, just did what they wanted to do because they felt privileged. But like my wife said, you can ask anybody in the diaspora that has come to the continent. When they see us, it's that light, y'all. It's that light. They know there's something different. They don't try that mess with us. Right. There was an incident where we went to the market here, and there was a guy from Germany. And it was an older gentleman. He probably like in his 80s, close to 90.
This man was about to be dead the next day.
Yeah, that's how old he was. And one of the Muslim sisters was ringing him up, and he bought a lot of stuff. And so he told her, just print the receipt, and then I'll give you the money because I got to count it out. And so she told him, customer service now. She told him, not a problem, sir. I'll wait for you. So to me, that was good customer service to say, I'm dealing with you right now, sir, so I'll wait for you to go ahead and count your money. And he started yelling at her, going off and everything.
Wait, like literally saying, are you stupid or something? I bet you didn't even graduate. Do you have an education? You people are so stupid here. And so Stephen and I are standing right
there.
And
so I had to check him real quick.
Both of us started going off on this man. You couldn't contain yourself.
I told him, man, I said, shut your mouth. I said, why are you talking to her like that? He goes, well, in my country. I said, well, you're not in your country. You're in our country. You're in Africa. I said, so why are you talking to her like that? And then he got real quiet and apologized. Because I was like, bro, you're not about to do this here right now. I don't care how old you are.
Shocked because first of all,
nobody else would say anything to him.
Nobody wouldn't say anything. Secondly, when we started speaking, he heard our American accent and he was like, oh, wait a minute. They're not Tanzanian. And so it was crazy. It was just one of those days. And the young lady, after he left, she came and she was just like, thank you so much. Because they deal with that type of stuff here. They deal with that.
Baba.
You probably seen them.
Yeah, you probably seen them, Baba.
But they deal with that type of stuff here from these other nations, and they still look at them as a doormat here in the country. And unfortunately, our people here don't realize a lot of times that they see them in that manner, and they bow down to them. They don't say anything. Like the young lady at the register, the other lady took off and started running because he was waiting for coffee too. Oh man, y'all, if the Most High had to restrain us, I'm like, this is an old man. He about to die soon anyway. Do not hit this old man.
I was gonna have to call Baba. I was gonna be like, Baba, you're gonna have to come bail me out. But real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Tell You Ministries in the chat right now. I know you guys didn't get to hear earlier, but man, I just wanted to thank you guys again for the Global Day of Repentance. That was powerful, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of that. And I just hope that we can do it again. I really think that that's something we need to make a regular thing, especially in this time that we're living. So, hallelujah. Thank you guys for that.
Yes, tell you exactly. This is why they don't want us here, because they know that we don't bow down to them. See, what happened to us was different. What happened to them was terrible too, but it was different. They tried to show them they killed the leaders, right? We know that. And it's several stories when you go to the tribes and you hear about the uproar.
I know, Baba. I know you would.
The uproar. Dang, you made me lose my train.
Sorry. You were talking about
you hear about the uproar and how a lot of the tribes fought back, colonization, and they were whooping them until they brought the guns, and that's how they ended up colonizing our people here in Africa. But then it seems like something happened where our people just forgot what they did. And they began to worship them because then they came with that friendship. Oh, let me help you.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing the reason you're sick in your body is because the very one who's saying, I have medicine for you, poisoned your water. Yeah. That's how it is here. But for us, we see them for who they really are because they've always shown us their nasty side. They have never been kind to us. So for us, we'll speak up, we'll fight because it's beyond that for us. It's like, well, if you're gonna kill us, then you just gonna kill me today, but we're gonna fight. So
right. It's literally we were talking to a young Tanzanian brother here one night. One of our friends, he had to go back to the States because he had to go back to take care of some things, and we had a going away thing for him. And there was a young Tanzanian brother there, and he was telling us that the reason why they like the other persuasion better than the Negro American is because when they ask us for something, we try to show them how to have a trade. We try to show them how to
make money,
eat fish forever, and not just for that day. But they say that the other persuasion, they come here and they just ask for something and they just give it to them. And we try to explain to him, and that's why you worship him, because he buys you off. But we're trying to show you how you can be better than him. But the mentality here is their minds are really screwed up. Not all of them. Some of them, their minds are really screwed up. They've really done a matrix number on them. Y'all remember on the Matrix when the guy was like, I know this steak is not real. And I know that it's the programming that tells me that it tastes good, but I'm still going to eat it. And that's the thing. They know that these people aren't good, but they're programmed to receive that steak from them, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. So it's been our goal. We tell them all, everybody we come in contact that we have the opportunity to speak to here, we let them know, you better watch out for them people. You know, we've lived with them all our lives. Y'all have not. So watch out for them. And even the ones that seem like they can be the cleanest, purest, a lot of times they not when it boils down to it. So I'm not saying all of them, but, you know, to me, it seems like it'll take a miracle for a lot of them to really, truly repent. That's just what it seems like for me, a miracle.
Right.
But yeah, and for y'all that come to the continent, y'all make sure y'all do the same. Don't let these people continue to be deceived out here, you know, thinking that these people are for them, but they're really not. You know, they really don't understand. They don't even, a lot of them, they don't call us African. We had to tell this young man the other day, we said, do you understand why they call us African American? We had to give him a whole scenario and say, if your sister and her husband were Tanzanian, they went to America, she got pregnant, had a baby, would that child be Mzungu, what they call us, or would it be an African? And he didn't understand until we gave him that scenario. Then he was like, oh, so you are African people that were just born in America. And it's like, yes. Yes. So that's all we have for y'all tonight.
Yeah, we're not gonna keep y'all on here. But check it out, family. Next Sunday, we're gonna be coming to you live again. We got a great one for you next Sunday. We got a great sister from Rwanda who's going to be sharing some things that she's doing. She's Diaspora from the UK. And so she's going to be sharing some things that she's doing in Rwanda, talking to us about how to repatriate to Rwanda. So for any of you that have Rwanda on your mind, we got that information coming next Sunday to you.
Right. And it's going to be one of those places like Senegal. It's going to shock you how simple it is there.
Yeah. And so thank y'all. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, share, and listen, family, y'all be good. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe. And we look forward to seeing y'all here on the continent one day. And remember, we are all a part of the Dry Bones Project, even there in the U.S., where even if you're in the U.K., wherever you can hear my voice, you are a part of the Dry Bones Project.
Yes.
We need to wake our people up. The two sticks have got to become one. There's no more time to play around. Just like we cried out last night in the Global Day of Repentance, time to get to work. Men, be in position.
Yes.
Be who the Most High has called you to be as over your households, leading your households, leading your communities, working together. Your brother is not your enemy. Your brother is your brother. We are not Jacob and Esau. We are Jacob. Let's work together. Let's be for each other. And my sisters, listen, let's stop backbiting each other. Let's start working together. Let's start loving each other.
Yes, that is my prayer, and y'all be praying too. We need to pray for the Ruach of unity to breathe on our nation.
Yes.
Because that's what we need. We need Abba to breathe unity amongst our people so that we can work together to accomplish what we need to accomplish. Anything?
I don't have anything else.
All right, y'all. So y'all be blessed.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
Yes. And as we say here on the continent, Usiku Wema, that means good night. So until next time, y'all, shalom.